Hello and welcome to Adam and Craig Chat Stuff, where today we are once again ranking for your viewing pleasure. Just like Daz Games Panic, it's back by popular demand. We've done 39 mazes this year and we are going to rank them from best to worst. The rules are very simple. We are mostly ranking on how scary we thought they were. We're going to rank them in the order that we did them, and this year we are even going to rate our maze of the year. We haven't discussed any of this. Nope. We don't know what the other is going to say, and we'll reveal that right at the end, won't we?
Yes.
Shall we get straight into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get straight into it. So first maze of the season this year, and first invite of the season actually this year, was Curse of Bermuda Falls. Where do we think this one goes?
I will put this one second to the bottom. Because although it was a good event, it was a really good event, really fun event. It wasn't as scary as some of the ones that we did later on in the season.
I kind of feel though, because it wasn't supposed to be scary, if we rank it only on scares, this one is probably going to get a rating that it doesn't deserve, because it was really good. I think number 3.
Okay, because I didn't come out of it disappointed.
No, it was a really good attraction, and it wasn't supposed to be like we almost didn't put it in here because it's not supposed to be a scare maze as such, is it?
Sure, put it there then. Put it in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, if we were going off the best logo, I must say
that's really good logo, yeah.
Would probably be number 1. Okay, then we move on to Fright Nights, and the second maze of the season was Trailers. Where do we think Trailers belongs?
See, this one we wasn't expecting a lot going into it. It didn't deliver a lot, so it would either go the bottom or second to bottom.
I would say it belongs down here, because I don't think there's much else this year that's going to be below that, to be quite honest.
Yeah, stick it there.
I think to me that's the bottom tier. Right, moving on from Trailers, we have Survival Games. In previous years, this was quite a low maze.
It was quite a low maze. Yeah, we've not always had the best run throughs this one, but I think this year I will put this second, so one above the Curse. I will put it there, because we did have a good run through it this time.
I would say. I mean, I would say it's got potential to be at number 1, to be quite honest, this year. It was really, really good. But yeah, number 2.
Yeah, number 2
I think is a good. Now, Stitches last year was by far our most controversial choice.
Yes, it came right to the bottom this year. Last year, sorry. Because last year we didn't have a good run through at all. This year, I think I'd put it on the same level as the Curse of Bermuda Falls.
Good dose of the ways, yeah.
Because it wasn't as good as Survival Games for us this year, but it was much better than last year.
It was much better this year. I still don't think it's as good as other people have said that it is, if I'm honest. I think people have given it a lot of credit. It's a good maze, but it's not a great maze, in my opinion, I don't think. Now, talk about controversial. This one has got some very, very mixed opinions from people. Personally, I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant.
Same.
And well, where do you want to put it?
Based on our run through this year, I'd stick this one right at the top.
Yes.
The first one at the top.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
We got tons of scares in this one, didn't we?
So good. Really well themed. Really good scares in there. It was a great maze. I love the way as well they make it look like you're going around in circles at one point. It was a really, really good maze. And of course, that crawly jump was so good. Now, next up for us was a brand new event that we've never done before, which is Doncaster Fear Factory.
And this was an amazing event.
So good. We got abused in the car. A clown made you scream like a child. It was such a good event.
It was a good event, yeah.
And we were with the experts that are Part Scares and Glitter, and they took us right to the back of the chasm first. What do you want to put the where do you know what I'm trying to say?
I would put that one up with Deadbeat.
I would.
Yeah, I would. That was a brilliant maze. Very dark in there, very scary in there, lots of screams.
Can't say how well themed it was because you couldn't see most of it. Kitchen to Garney. But that was terrifying. That was such a strong introduction to this scare part, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay, and on from the chasm, we went on to Crackle Hill.
And that was another brilliant maze. I'd say that was at the same level as the chasm.
That's a number 1 maze. That was probably my favourite of the night, looking back, actually.
Was it?
I think at the time I said the chasm, but I think that's probably because it was the first one and we didn't know what to expect, and so it probably hit. Whereas by the time we got to Crackle Hill, we knew what sort of level we were dealing with.
Yeah.
But in reality, I loved that maze. I loved the theming of it. And I love there's one bit in the video where I say, how many times are we going to go through this red bit? Because you just kept going through, didn't you?
Yeah.
It seemed so long. So long. And you had like the creepy crab walkie woman. We had that person who was all bent up on the table. It's just such a good. I really loved that, and I love a spooky house maze. And some bloke kept shouting at us about his bloody eyes as well. That gave us a heart attack more than once, didn't it? Menace. Maze number 3 at Doncaster Pogo Club.
I think I'd put this one at the same level as Stitches because it was still a good maze. It was It was just more fun than scary. Yeah, there was still some scares in there. It just seemed more fun than scary, that one. It was still a good maze though. I'd still do it again.
Okay.
But where would you put it?
I would put. Oops. Oh, I've dropped it in there. I probably would have put it down a level.
You think? Okay. Yeah. Sure.
If we're ranking on scares. I'm going to put it in 3, mainly because of the clown that was shouting "I love feet," because it's just beautiful. I love it. Diabolus.
Now, Diabolus was a really scary maze. It was just very short.
Very
short. And because of that, I think I'd put it in between Pogo Club and the other 2 that we did previously.
Oh, hang on. So you mean tier? Can we talk in tiers? Can we talk real languages?
In tier 2.
In tier 2?
Yeah. Because it had the scares there. Yeah. It just didn't have the length.
Yeah.
There was some brilliant scares in there. It was very scary.
I would have put it in. I probably would have, because it was better than Pogo Club, to be fair, wasn't it?
Yeah, for scares it was. It was a good maze.
And it probably would go up another one if it was just longer.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, what was... Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the one we could never say, Friargate Foundry.
I'll put this at the top with the other 2 from Doncaster and Deadbeat.
Yeah, I would agree. I think when we did the review of it, actually, what was still in my mind was the bit with the doctor, which we said like nothing really happened. We got put in those cubic, and I think, and then the ending was sort of had a lot of potential, but didn't really fulfill it. I felt.
Yeah, it just didn't have the strongest ending, did it?
Yeah, and I think because that was lingering in our mind, we were probably a bit like, it was all right, but actually, everything that came before that, I mean, that bit where you can just about see that I got taken away from you, and they put me in this cage where I was on the toilet. Someone kept coming at me with an axe, and someone else was poking his hand through the other side, and that was really really intense. That bit. So yeah, I think number 1 is a good space for it. I think number 1. The House of Clowns. I don't know what you think on this, and I never thought I would say this, but I actually want to put it up here.
Do you really?
Yeah.
See, it was a good maze and we had a good run through, but compared to other things we've done this year, I definitely won't put it at the top.
Would you not?
No.
Do you know what? That's by far the strongest that maze has ever been.
Yeah, it has been the strongest it's ever been. But compared to others that we've done, I won't put it straight at the top.
Okay, number 2 then?
I'd even say Yeah, go on then, number 2.
Oh, I wouldn't, because I mean, that end scene this year was so intense.
Yeah, we had loads of clowns on us.
So intense. I think definitely the best clown maze that I've ever done, that one. Definitely.
Yeah, okay, let's stick it there then. Because we had a good run through it this year.
I'll agree with that.
And it was definitely the scariest run we've ever done of clowns.
I'll agree with that. This one, if you put this anywhere else than where I want you to put it,
send this one straight to the top. This was the maze of the night there, I think.
The most traumatising thing I've done in a long time. That
lads. Oh wow!
Like we said at the time, like X4 was the maze that was probably our least favourite maze actually at Avon before. It was always decent.
But now they turn out the lights, they make you find your way with a glow stick, which doesn't give you a lot of light at all.
It just sent it soaring to the top. It's just on another level to anything else there, and most other mazes that we've done, to be quite honest. Unbelievable. And the energy in there this year, the energy was just, perfect, perfect. I wanted to cry when I came out of that. Now this...
I would put this one in the middle with Pogo Club because
sorry.
Would you put it there? Okay, let's stick it there. Can't have one yet. It's a good maze, but this year we just didn't have as good of a run through as we have.
It's a shame because if we were going off the run through we had at the Summer Frights event, it would be up here, wouldn't it? Because that was phenomenal. But yeah, it didn't deliver what it's capable of, really, did it?
No.
During Halloween.
No, during Avon anyway.
Now I know this one is always one of your favourites.
And this is a difficult one because this one you pretty much are on your own for most of it, so we have different runs through of this one.
And one of us is much more scared of being alone than the other is. So where are we sticking this one then?
I would stick this in tier 2.
Hey.
Tier 2 house plans, yeah.
I would agree with that. I would completely agree with that. I think as well, and no fault of Avon on this one, but the more you do a maze and the more you get used to the layout of it, you sort of lose that fear of the unknown, don't you? And so I think Vita are probably what used to be top tier for me because of the alone element, but it's probably come down because I'm so used to making my way through there. But really strong again this year. Malefica.
Malefica, I would put that in tier 2.
I would.
It's a brilliant maze, I think previous years we probably would have stuck it to the top, but even though
I think we maybe did last year.
Yeah,
I think we maybe did.
But even though we got good runs through this one, not as good as previous years.
We've had better runs.
Yeah,
we've had better runs through in Malefica. Still strong.
Still a strong maze.
But it definitely has been stronger. Oh, right, on to Scarefest then. Ooh, dearie me. Right.
We started off with Panic
Daz Games.
Stick that straight at the bottom.
Straight at the bottom.
Yeah, see, I see a lot of people online who love this maze, but
do you know
it
what?
does nothing for us.
I have to be honest, if it wasn't a Scarefest attraction, I probably would really enjoy it. I probably would really like it. But as a scare attraction, it just isn't there. It just isn't there.
No.
And I still just think, like, when you look at the theming of the other mazes they've got there, and then you look at Daz Games, which is literally just fences and curtains, like, they're worth so much more than that. Towers is capable of so much better than that. I mean, the characters in there are quite cool, aren't they?
They're more annoying than scary. Because
you're trying to achieve something rather than just trying to be scared. Okay, Tiny's Revenge.
This is an interesting one. Should we stick that one tier 3 or tier 4?
I think tier 3.
Tier 3, yeah, because
it was
a good run through, wasn't it?
I think this year it started off really good. Like I remember the actor at the beginning, she was incredible. She scared us more times than I could count in such a small space of time. And then sort of as you go through what used to be the pre-show scene, there was a really good scare in there, and then the lift was quite creepy. And I just feel as we went through, it just sort of fizzled out a bit, didn't it?
Yeah. And then the very end was really scary though.
No, it was
that
good.
bit we didn't expect. Yeah.
It was a good end actually. Yeah.
I put it in the middle.
But yeah, Skin Snatches was definitely better than Tiny's Revenge, I think.
Oh man, the attic. Disappointingly, I would send this one to the bottom.
I would.
Yeah,
I never thought I would put that low. But
it was a favourite of ours for ages, wasn't it? But
that was so weak this year. That really was weak this year. And it guts me because I love that maze so much. I love it so much. And we've had so many good times in there.
We have. It just didn't deliver this year, did it?
It wasn't
didn't
there.
Feel like on the day it carried the energy as it previously has. Yeah.
It really didn't.
So it's such a shame to see that one for us at the very bottom.
And then we finally went for the new maze Compound.
I would put this one tier 3. Tier 3. It was a good maze, a good concept. There were some scary parts of it. I
needed more.
Yeah, it just needed a bit more. And I like the idea that you get separated, you go in different directions, so it is actually an actual maze. I just got out of it really quick.
Yeah. I didn't feel, from my experience, I didn't feel there was enough actors in there to shuffle everyone effectively because I felt like other people were being shuffled and commanded and stuff, because we were I think we might have been at the back.
Yeah. And
by the time I was getting into the rooms, like all of the actors had already been busy with other people, and I was just sort of like, I'll just go through here. Yeah.
I think both of us got out quite early, didn't we? And one of our friends was in there for ages. We was waiting for ages, weren't we?
Matt must have got out first because he was out first. Coming out, didn't he?
Yeah, he was out before me, and then you.
Okay, so let's move on to Dr. Fright's, which is always one of our favourite events.
Yeah, it's always a brilliant one.
I love Dr. Fright. I think I know what's going to happen in here because we took it in turns to go first. So I feel like I know where these rankings are going to go, but. Let's start off. First maze that we encountered, Stormvale Cemetery. Where would we put this one?
I would put this one in tier 3.
Oh, as low as 3?
I don't think 3 is a bad tier though.
Oh, I mean, For me, I'd say 1.
Really?
I mean, I said it was my maze of the night,
did say
so
it
I
was
can't
maze of
not
the
put it
night.
number 1, can I, after that?
I'm ruined. I'm deceased. How are you coping, Raj?
Oh my god, I've got no words.
We compromise on 2?
Yeah, go on then. 2.
Compromise on 2.
That's it.
Compromise on 2. I loved that. Slasher House?
Slasher House. I'd say put this one in tier 2 as well. I love this one. It was.
You see, I would want this one.
Would you?
But I would.
Would you say it was?
We may have to reshuffle because I think I know what's going to happen later on when we get to some of the other mazes. So let's leave them there for now. Grindhouse.
Grindhouse. Oh, this is difficult now because Grindhouse, I found it less scary than Slasher House, but it was still a good maze. Maybe, yeah, put it tier 3.
I think it's a
Tier
3.
three, yeah.
I think it's decent. It's not the best they've got. It's okay. See what happens here. Found footage.
Number 1.
See, I wouldn't.
Would you know?
I would not say it was as good as the other 2, but that's because you were at the front.
I were at the front. Yeah, I really like the concept of this one though because it's like found footage. So there's cameras, and you walk in the room and you see yourself on the CCTV. And there was one part where you don't know the nun is behind you until you see it on the CCTV.
Do you know what then? Let's just go off our best opinion because I think they belong in tier 1. You think that belongs in tier 1.
Okay.
Let's just put them up there.
Sure.
Let's just put them up there. Hollywood Horror.
Let's put this one at tier 2.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would
tier
agree
2.
with that.
It is a good maze. I think last year we had a scarier run through it, even though it's still a good maze.
But I mean the Freddy and Jason corridor.
Oh god, yeah, the Freddy and Jason corridor. Yeah, that was really
Sorry,
scary.
did you actually attend any of these mazes?
Yeah, oh, maybe it is a 1 maze.
It might actually be, yeah. Do you know what, I might actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah,
and then we
put it
had,
there.
I mean, this year we had Saw as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was that the section the Purge was in? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was.
Really, really strong actually, that.
It was actually stronger than I remember now that
Yeah.
we've reflected back on it.
Is Land Day of Dolls?
See, this one, I screamed so much I hurt my throat, which doesn't happen often. So I will put that at number 1.
I'll put it in number 1. I would say it was number 2. Again, it's because you took up you ended up with most of the scares in that one. But from your point of view, I can see why it would be number 1. And then our final Dr. Fright's Maze, Killer Clowns Ultimate Championship.
I'd say we maybe tier 3.
Tier 3?
Yeah.
I think it was better than last year's Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
There were some really good elements. I like the bits. There's bits where you get to choose which path you want to go down, and you either choose the right path or you get scared crapless. And the mirror bit as well, which I'm assuming they recycled from Bloody Mary last year. Was really, really good.
They play good music in there as well.
They do play good music. I definitely feel that Grindhouse and Killer Clowns are not as strong as the other mazes that Dr. Fright's is creating.
No, but wow, look at that. That's 5 Dr. Fright mazes in tier 1. It just shows how good Dr. Fright is.
Strong year for Dr. Fright's, yeah.
And like what they don't deliver in sets and stuff, they deliver in scares.
In scares, yeah. I know people have varying opinions on this, but for me, the top priority in the scare maze is the scares. Theming, story, definitely add to it. I will never disagree with that. They definitely improve the experience. But I would rather walk through a dark corridor filled with scares than walk through an extremely elaborately themed maze that doesn't scare you at all.
Yeah, like what we got with the attic.
Yeah, that's personally where I stand on scare mazes. For me, it's about being scared. Now we move on to the surprise event of the year that we didn't plan to go to. Thank you to the Stakesies for this one. This is Fear Island, and we started off in Outpost, the zombie maze.
And that started off really strong. This, for me, would probably be 1 or 2 tier. A tier 1 or a tier 2, what would you say? Maybe tier 2?
Based on our second run through, I'd say tier 1.
Tier 1, yeah, go on.
I would say tier 1 because that end scene was so chaotic and so intense.
I think if we only had the first run through it, maybe tier 2.
It'd be a tier 2,
but yeah, I
feel
agree.
the second run through definitely picked it up for us. Ravenous,
I'd stick this tier 2.
I'd say tier 2.
Tier 2.
I'd say tier 2.
This was a really good maze, wasn't it?
It's more scene-based,
yeah,
isn't it?
scene-based and very interactive.
But the final scene is really chaotic and really intense. And there was one particular hillbilly, the one with the long hair, who was insanely intense with the scares. Really, really extreme. Who are you? scared the life out of me, I can tell you that. I know we're not going to agree on this, but where are we going to put 9 circles?
This would either be a tier 2 or a tier 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll put it in 2 then.
2?
I'll put it in 2. I think tier 2 is fair. I thought you'd probably rank it a bit lower because I know you're not as bothered about being on your own.
You're gonna die in here!
I hope not.
Hiya, handsome! Why don't you come join me in the cage? We'd have a lot of fun.
Hi, June. Oh, hi, Bob. So that I'm not bothered about being on my own. I like the element of being on your own because I like that because it increases the intensity.
But not enough to put it in tier. See, for me, I was probably my scariest of them. Even though the scares weren't as high, being on my own makes it the scariest for me.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about it. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Oh God. Oh no. Oh God.
No, I think tier 2 is fair.
Tier
though.
2,
I think
yeah.
tier 2 is very, very fair. Really, really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then Psycho Mansion.
See, this one was a family maze, so we knew it wasn't going to be scary, and it wasn't really scary. It had a good story to it, but because it wasn't scary, I'd say put it tier 4 or 5.
I'd say 4. I'd say 4 because I really enjoyed it. There was some really cool elements in there. But
I
yeah, I
did
suppose if we're ranking based on scares, number 4 I think is fair. And this one we didn't have a video on because it's so hard to film. We've done it before and it's really hard to vlog, but we did go to Walsall Scare Maze.
Oh yeah. There is only one place this needs to be, and that is at the very top.
That was unbelievable.
I mean, this is always a good one, and every single year they just get better and better, don't they? They really do.
That was, I knew it was going to be good, but I was blown away by that. And this is one that has everything. Like we say that scares are our main priority. I mean, there's scares all through this maze. It's got a great story to it. They're really good at telling the story. The theming is incredible, and some of the additional special effects they put in there are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like they rival the attractions that have got the most money. You know what I mean? Like
and
they
this is
had
just an independent business that's in,
behind the pub, literally behind the pub. And they were creating effects that no one else is using in their mazes, and they were brilliant, brilliant effects, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, what a maze. And then on to the legendary Xtreme Scream Park, and the first maze that we did was the brand new Bloodlust.
I think this one I would put either tier 2 or perhaps tier 1.
I would put it in tier 1.
Tier 1, would you?
I would put it in tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good maze.
It was an incredible maze, and that element where they split you up, there's a special effect at the beginning which I really liked as well in the kebab shop. The splitting up and taking you off on your own, I think was brilliant. I think it deserves a tier 1. It's probably only just getting into tier 1.
Yeah, only just a tier 1.
And it's really cool because Xtreme Scream's maze is so long. You go through so many different scenes, and so we went through sort of the kebab shop and then the nightclub.
And the sewers at one point.
The sewers, and then there's that sort of bit where you sort of go into the other world sort of thing, don't you? So I really like that about Xtreme Scream. You go through so many different scenes throughout the maze, and it was brilliant. I loved that last scene where you sort of go through into the, I don't know what you call it, the other side sort of thing. It was
the vampire people are really creepy as well.
Then we have Scare Zone, Scare Maze, Circus versus Circus.
I would put that maybe Squeaky Bum. It delivered the least scares that night. And I think I preferred it when it was a scare zone to making it a maze. Yeah.
Because it was never, even though you could go in it at any point, it was never as packed as it was when we did it as a maze, was it?
No.
It was just so full, overfull.
Yeah, I think we missed a lot of the scares in that one, didn't we? Because we was in the back of our group, and by the time we'd got into the different rooms, everybody had already screamed. So we didn't get to see what they were screaming about.
And it was just too busy. Like, we were just a constant line, wasn't it? Shame. Now, I have to say, in previous years, Uncle Eno's Open Acres has really, really not been one of my mazes that I care that much for. But I have to say, I think it deserves to go higher this year.
Yeah, definitely. I'd maybe put it in ranking 3.
3?
Yeah.
I'd agree. I'd agree with that. I'd agree.
Because we got some really good scares at the start, some at the end. Just a little bit in between. Weren't as not enough scares really, was there?
Still a bit of dead space, but they've definitely improved it from previous years. They've definitely improved that maze, which is a hard look.
I think I'll put this maybe in tier 3 as well. I'd think maybe tier 2.
I definitely think it belongs above Eno's.
Yeah,
this year.
It deserves to be above Eno's, you are correct. Yeah, put it in tier 2 then. Yeah, because with this one, I mean, it's always a good maze once you get past the hooded section. But this year,
picked that up this year.
Usually hooded sections of mazes do nothing for us.
And it is great. I still think I prefer Hoodoo.
Yeah, Hoodoo Voodoo.
But only because I think the Voodoo costumes are more, naturally are just more interesting, more elaborate than Witches. But still a great maze, still a really great maze. Ash Hell Penitentiary?
Tier 2, I think tier 2, because we did have a good run through this one.
It was
I just think we've had better runs through previous years.
We've had better, little bit busy through. I think actually we were just at the back of the group in that one, weren't we? I don't think we caught up with anyone, we were just at the back.
But we're still getting some good scares in that one, didn't we? So I think that deserves to be tier 2.
And I love the Spider Infestation edition as well.
Yeah, I think that was new this year, wasn't it?
I don't remember that, but unless they added it last year, but it's definitely, I definitely don't remember that before.
No.
We're really good. Okay, Pie Factory.
Pie Factory, I'd say maybe tier 2.
Oh, I don't know if you put that as high this year.
No, maybe tier 3 then.
Tier 3?
Because this is a brilliant maze. It is a brilliant maze. We didn't get as many scares.
It wasn't there this year, was it?
Previous years, no.
It didn't deliver as much as it could do this year.
Yeah, but we did get a good dose of scares, yeah. Let's put it tier 3 then.
I think this one just didn't seem to be as full this year, did it? It didn't seem there was many.
Previous years.
I love Xtreme Screen's use of animatronics because it gives you scares in addition to what the actors are giving you. But the problem is they always go for the first people. So if you're not first,
if you're back of the queue, you miss the animatronic.
You miss the animatronics, and so you're relying purely on actors. And sometimes there's some big gaps between actors in the Xtreme Screen, and that's what I felt with the Pie Factory. There's just some real big spaces there. Okay, so the Village.
Send this one straight to the top. Yeah, we had a brilliant run through. In fact, I mean, we always love the Village. It's usually my favourite one at Xtreme Screen, but we had the best run through we've ever had at the Village. And we have had good run-throughs of that one previously.
But that was by far the best.
It was incredible.
By far the best time we've ever had in that.
Yeah.
Our final maze of the year, again one that we didn't vlog because it just wasn't
it was hard to vlog this one.
But we did a Scare Maze brunch at Lunar Springs Halloween Scare Maze. So what do we think? Because we never reviewed this on camera.
I will put this one squeaky bum.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Considering it won Best Attraction, Best New Attraction last year, I think I had high expectations.
Me too.
I think I expected more.
I expected more.
It was again more of a scene-led scare maze, wasn't it? And there were some scares in there,
but compared to other ones that we've done throughout the year, yeah, definitely a ranking 4 for that one.
It was, and so that is all 39 scare mazes ranked. Here they are in all their beautiful glory. But of course we have one more tier to sort out, which is our maze of the year. This is a really hard decision this year because we've done some really, really good mazes. And there's more in tier 1 than we had last year. We've had a really good year this year.
Have a really good year.
For me though, and like I said, we haven't discussed this, but for me there's definitely a standout maze.
Me too.
That belongs at the top. So we've written it down. We don't know what each other has chosen. We're going to reveal them together. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3,
1, 2, 3. Yeah! What's yours say? Oh, yeah.
The Sharpie was running out.
Yeah, Sharpie was running out.
To go with it.
See, that wasn't even a tough decision for me because that was a standout maze.
There it goes.
Such an impressive maze.
So good.
Such an impressive maze. And to say that it's just an independent business, like it's a pub.
It's incredible.
And they put on that event, it is amazing.
And like I will say, like up until the point we did Walsall, I think X4 for me was leading the top, the maze of the year.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
And I knew it would take a lot. I think even Village is a potential competitor this year for that one.
See, for me, if there was a first, second and third, I would have Walsall Scare Maze, X4 Blackout, and then the Village.
Oh,
that would be my three.
That's pretty much what I just said, but after Avon, I just thought that it's going to take so much to beat X4 Blackout because it was so scary. One of the scariest things we've ever done.
Until Walsall. That was going to be my maze of the year.
Yeah. Oh, it was so in sync. Yeah. But then Walsall came along and just blew everything else out the water.
Yeah.
I've never ever experienced anything like that this year.
No.
We've had some good runs through in Walsall, but that was we did. In fact, that all of us came out. We didn't even speak, did we, when we first came out of it, because we were just so amazed. It was. We just took time to process it because it was such a good maze. Like everything about it was incredible. It was incredibly scary. The sets in there are unbelievable, especially for an independent maze. It's a new theme every single year. They're rebuilding this maze every year, and they are creating theming that's beyond what a lot of scare parks can achieve, aren't they?
Yeah, and
It's
then
so immersive.
And then they even in December give it a Christmas makeover, don't they?
Yeah. Which we will be going back to because that was unbelievable. I think we can give a few spoilers because it'd be different next year, so we're not going to spoil too much. But like we had this opening scene where there was a seance and they had leg ticklers in there. In fact, wasn't the chandelier, the lights were shaking as well, actually, weren't they?
Yeah.
Amazing. And then this final scene, beyond anything, I often find, even with the best scare, even probably with some of the ones that are in tier 1, like often with scare mazes, you just sort of wander out, don't you, at the end? And I often feel that you're sort of lacking a big finale in scare mazes.
That had an amazing finale, didn't it?
Walsall were like, hold my beer, let's sort this out. They had incredible lighting effects. They had loads of actors in that final scene. They had some sort of Emily Alton style dollhouse projection thing, didn't they? And a moving floor, which was several effects in that. It vibrated, it dropped, it moved, like, and it was just so intense because you were penned in as well during that bit, weren't you? And so the floor's doing all sorts of things, the lights are flashing, the actors are running around, scaring, grabbing people, like, it's so hands-on, so intense. I just don't think I can say enough how amazing that was, that maze. It was absolutely incredible. And I'm sure it doesn't mean a lot coming from us, but honestly, they should be so proud of what they've achieved there because that was incredible, and that is a new standard for horror mazes in this country, I think. What an experience. There you go, we may not agree on everything, but we certainly agree that Walsall is number 1.
Most definitely.
And we will go back there for Christmas. And so there we have it. That is the Adam and Craig Do Stuff Scare Maze 2024 ranking. Now I know run-throughs vary and everyone has a different experience, everyone has different opinions, so let us know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Call us names, you know, whatever. Interaction's interaction at the end of the day, isn't it? We don't care. But 2024 has been an incredible scare season.
Really
we hope that you've enjoyed watching these videos as much as we've enjoyed making them. It's been amazing to film in some of the mazes this year. So with more scares coming in 2025, but until then, keep your eye on the channel for all of your theme park zoo and attraction content. Thank you as always for watching, and we will see you
next time we do stuff.